again, Panther Cubs. We made it to Friday. Yay! So let's go through our spiral review. So number 1 says to fill in the blank to complete the pattern. The first thing I want to ask you is the pattern getting bigger or smaller as it goes? It's getting smaller, right? So that means that I must be doing some sort of subtraction. I just need to figure out what that subtraction is. So in order to figure out what the subtraction is, I can figure out between 29 and 23 and between 11 and 5. So to figure out the difference between 29 and 23, how much that's going by, I can subtract those two numbers. Oops, and you can't see that, I'm sorry. 9, my bigger number's on top, no need to stop. 9 minus 3 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0. So let's see, this was minus 6. Let's see if 11, it does 11 minus 6 equal 5. Yep, that's true too. So our pattern must be minus 6. So in order to fill in the blank here, I'm going to do 23 minus 6. And you can't see that. Let me move that up. I'm sorry. 23 minus 6. I'm going to circle where my bigger number is. More on the floor. Go next door to borrow 10 more. 13 minus 6 is equal to, oh, Miss Wadley almost made a boo-boo, is equal to 7, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So I'm going to put 17 in, and I'm going to see, does 17 minus 6 equal 11? Just to double check, because I don't want to make some sort of careless boo-boo like I almost did. I'm going to circle my bigger number, more on top, no need to stop. 1 minus 0 is 1. And it did equal 11. So my pattern was minus 6, and 17 was my answer that belonged on the line. Okay, looking at the next question. The next question asks us, in which place is the 3 located in 376? So I'm going to make my HTO chart, my hundreds, tens, ones, and put in 376. And I want to know about the 3. So I see the 3 is located in the H, which stands for hundreds. Okay, next one. We're looking at the clock. So I want you to remember that the word hour is short. It's only 4 letters. So hour is the shorthand. Minute is a long word. So it is the longhand. So hour is a short word, so it's the shorthand. Minute is the long word, so it's the longhand. So I'm looking at my clock, and I'm looking to see what is the last thing that my hour hand passed. And although it's not exactly on the 8, I look to see what is the last thing that it touched, the last whole number that it touched. And the last whole number that it touched was 8. So I know the hour is 8 o'clock. Now to get the minutes, I'm going to use the longhand, and it looks like the longhand is there at the 4. So to do minutes, I'm going to count by 5s, starting at the 0 or the 12. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. So the time must be 8:20. And remember, I have the minutes up on my clock in the classroom, so if you get confused, you can always look up there to help you. And here we are at the word problem. This is a shorter one today, so that's nice. It says, Julie has $2 in her pocket. She buys a pack of gum for $1.35. How much change should she receive? So I'm going to go sentence by sentence. Julie has $2 in her pocket. Okay, we know that numbers are usually important, so let's write down that she has $2. Then it says, the second sentence says, she buys a pack of gum for $1.35. So if she's buying it, she's spending her money. So I'm going to say she spent $1.35 on gum. And then the last sentence says, how much change should she receive? And remember, we always want to know what is the question asking me. So I'm going to say my question is how much change? Okay, so we're going to pretend, if you're not sure what change means, we're going to go through it. Change is how much money you get back. So if I spend $1.35 and I give the cashier $2, I gave her too much money. She's got to give me some money back. So in order to figure out how much change I get, I have to subtract, because I'm going to have $2 that I gave the cashier, but it only cost $1.35. So I need to know, what does the cashier still owe me? Because I don't want to get gypped. So I'm going to come down here to my solve, and I'm going to do $2 minus $1.35. Now this one's tricky because I have all those zeros, but my bigger number's on bottom, so I need to go next door to borrow 10 more. No one's home. I'm going to go down the street, and I'm going to say, Mr. or Mrs. Hundreds, can I borrow from you? And they're going to say, of course. So I'm going to take one of their hundreds to trade it for 10 tens. Now, I still can't do 0 minus 5, but I do have something that will help me. I now have tens, so I can go next door, get 9, so that they only have 9 left, and now I have 10. So 10 minus 5 I can do. 10 minus 5 is 5. Again, I circle where my bigger number is. 9 minus 3, more on top, no need to stop. 9 minus 3 is 6. I'm going to carry my decimal point straight down, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So I'm saying that my change, that the cashier owes me 65 cents. And I'm going to check it. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to put my $1.35 plus my 65 cents, and hopefully that will equal to $2. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. And $2. So my answer checks out. So 65 cents is my answer. Another way to do this would be to say, okay, well, I can count up from $1.35 to $2. So I could say 5 cents gets me to 40, and then 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to $1. So that was 60 cents. And I'd add it together and I'd get the same answer, 65 cents. So whatever way makes more sense to you is what you should use.